And it's another Friday here. We're going to do Pilates for Yogis here from my house. I'm Doug. Let me set up my screen. We're going to start standing up. And again, we're going to use our Pilates ball and our block. If you don't have either of those, then you may take a large or medium-sized towel and roll it up or fold it up and make it into a three-dimensional object. I have a yoga strap just in case we have time to stretch after class. Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. So go ahead and face your screen and stand tall. And I just want to talk about elevating the spine for a second. Just relax the shoulders, draw the lower ribs in and firm up the abdominal wall. And think of making your spine a little longer. The top of the head is going to move up toward the ceiling. Do that on an inhale. And as you exhale, settle back in. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And you do that 1 more time while I change something on my screen. And exhale. Good. Now we're going to rock on our feet. I'm going to stand sideways so you can see, just like a rocking horse. Just coming up to the tiptoes for a second, coming back down to the heels and lifting the toe balls. And then let's see if we can come up and hold on our tiptoes for 3, 2, 1, and come down and rock on the feet 3 times. Let's go up to tiptoes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, rock on the feet 3 times. Come up to the tiptoes for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and you can bust a move however you want, just so you don't fall down, and come down and rock on your feet. Okay, I'm going to face you. Take your feet wider apart, bend your knees, and rest the hands on the knees. So the upper body should be very light and soft. The legs are really firm. I want you to exhale and arch your back. Go into extension, go into a back bend. Lift your chin and look forward. You don't have to look up, look forward. And then as you exhale, you're going to straighten out the spine and round the spine, pull the lower ribs into the body, drop the head and tuck the pubic bone forward. And we'll inhale, arch, and exhale, round. Inhale, arch, and exhale, round. And a little movement in the legs is okay here. There might be a little rocking in the legs. That's fine. This part is all about the spine. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. And come to a neutral spine. Think about finding your midline. And our spine's going to stay in the midline as we twist. We'll exhale and twist to the right. The legs stay in place. The knees stay right where they are. We inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left, and inhale to center, and to the right, back to center, to the left, back to center, 1 more time each way, and last one to the left, and back to center. Now we're going to round our spine, drop the head, and just roll on down as we straighten out the legs. And once you get down as far as you can go ahead and just release the arms and let them dangle. For most of you, the fingers are probably reaching the mat. If not, that's okay. We're going to do a little bit of a twist to the right. See if we can take both the fingertips over closer to the right foot, maybe touch the foot, and keeping the legs straight. We'll hold for about 2 breaths. Be sure you have that rib cage twisted. And then we'll come back to the middle. We'll twist to the right and reach the hands over to the, twist to the left, reaching the hands to the left foot. We'll hold for about 2 breaths. And come back to the middle. Put 1 hand on each knee, roll up to standing. And we're going to keep our legs straight. We're going to keep the legs apart. Let's take the arms out to the side and arch your back just a little bit. So think about lifting up the heart, get the arch in the thoracic spine, and hinge at the hip joints and come forward. So you should be looking almost straight down at the floor. Ideally, your spine is parallel to the floor, but that might not happen with everybody. Be sure the shoulders are not rounded forward. The shoulder blades are spread apart, and the shoulder blades are working their way down toward the waistline, and the neck should feel long. We're going to stay here and take a twist to the right. We're going to windmill the arms. Don't worry about reaching that opposite foot. We're just getting the twist, and then we'll come back to center. And then we'll twist the other way. And come back to center. If you're getting a little shoulder discomfort, you can always take that upper arm and bend it and rest the hand on the back of the hip. And back to center and other way. This is all about the twist of the spine. It's not about reaching the arms. We're going to do one more each way. And last one, twisting to the left. And come back to the middle. Let's lift up the chest a little bit as we now try to really flatten the back and maybe arch the low back as well as the upper back. And breathe. Good, and then we'll bring the hands to the knees. We'll bend the knees a little bit. We'll soften the spine, drop the head, roll up to upright. And roll the shoulders a few times. Okay, let's work on our balance. I'm going to kick my mat out of the way. Go ahead, face your screen, and we're going to put our weight into our left foot. We'll test out the balance. If it's not working for you, go hold on to something. And we're going to lift up our right knee. Okay, so the femur bone and the hip joint is going to tick-tock. It'll look like this. The knee will stay in place. It's like one of those cuckoo clocks with a little pendulum tick-tocking. And one more time. Neutral, come down, switch, and tick-tock. The knee stays in the same place, the femur bone screwdrivering inside the hip joint. One more time. Neutral and come down. Switching sides again. Knee up. Now we're going to take the knee out to the right side, getting external rotation in the hip joints, and try not to rotate the pelvis here. Bend the knee a little more, point the foot, and we're just going to reach across our midline, touch the floor, come back up, and again, reach across, touch the floor, come back up, and we'll do one more time without quite touching the floor. And come back up. Neutralize the leg, take the knee across midline, and tick-tock the leg the other direction, and reach way out to the side and slightly behind you, and touch the floor, and come back up. So we're making that long diagonal line. And touch the floor, and come back up, and without touching the floor. And come back up, and neutralize the leg, and come down. Shake it out. And other side, left knee up. Okay. We will take the knee out to the side. And then bend the knee, point the foot. We're going to make a diagonal line across our midline, touch the floor, and come back up, and touch the floor, and come back up. On the third one, we will not quite touch the floor. Come back up, neutral leg. Now it goes across midline, tick-tock the other way, and reach way out to the side, slightly behind you, touch the floor, and come back up all the way, and reach out, touch the floor, and whoops, come back up. This last time without quite touching the floor. You have to hold your balance the whole time. And come back up, and leg to neutral, and come down, shake it up. Let's go down to our mat. Come stand on your mat and turn to your left. We're all facing the same way. I'm going to lower my laptop. I haven't found a cameraman yet. Okay, let's just do one roll down to come down to the mat. We inhale, stand tall. Exhale, let the head drop. Keep breathing as you bend the knees a little bit and keep your face close to your legs as you roll down. We'll hang here and take a breath and then come down to all fours. We'll come to sitting any way you want to do it. I like to cross my ankles over each other and just slide back until I'm sitting cross-legged, but you do it however you want. And let's scooch forward on the mat. And we're going to do single arm circles. So left leg is straight along the mat. That leg's going to hold there. Bend the right knee more and have that right foot on the mat and grab your shin and just pull yourself up to a tall, straight spine. Okay, now this is going to involve a twist and a little bit of a back bend. We're going to hold on to the leg with the left hand, take the right arm out, it's straight out in front, palm of the hand up if you can. You're still sitting straight up tall with a flat back, bring the arm up. Now twist to the right. Give me a little bit of a back bend here in the thoracic spine, like you're lifting the heart. Turn the palm of the hand to face backwards and finish out that circle. Bring the arm behind you. You can follow it with your eyes and then bring it forward. That was one. Let's do it again. Breathe any way you like. So when your spine twists, it's like it's going up a spiral staircase. And two more. And one more. And we'll do the other side. We want to get that tall, straight spine. We want to keep our spine in our plumb line for now. The left arm is forward, palm up. We'll bring the arm up. We'll start our twist. We'll turn the palm of the hand to face back. We lift up the heart a little bit and we finish out that circle. Bring the arm forward again. We'll do it again. All about the spine. It's a nice big twist, but also it's a really nice shoulder opener when you get right back here. And two more. And one more. And we're done with that. So let's stay seated on our mat. We'll straighten out both legs. Both feet are flexed and a tall, straight spine. Some of you may need to bend your knees a little bit so that your back is not rounded. We'll face forward, fingertips alongside the head, elbows out to the side. And on an inhale, we side bend to the right. And exhale, come back to center. And inhale, side bend to the left. And exhale to center. And side bend to the right. And back to center. And side bend to the left. And back to center. We pause here, take an inhale, elevate the spine a little more. We'll exhale, twist to the right. And inhale to center. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center. Twist to the right. And to center. Twist to the left. And to center. Now we're going to be putting it together. We're going to exhale, twist to the right. We inhale, take a side bend so the left elbow drops toward the left knee. We come up out of our side bend still in the twist, and then we untwist. We go the other way. We exhale, twist. We inhale, side bend to the right. Exhale, come upright. And inhale, untwist. Going to the other side. Exhale, twist. Inhale, side bend to the left. Exhale, come upright. Inhale, untwist. One more time. Exhale, twist. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, come up. And inhale, untwist. And relax. Let's go into our shivering. Come down to your elbows. Now, the body should be in the shape of a cradle. That means your spine is really long and it's slightly rounded. That includes the lumbar spine. We want to try to move the rib cage and the pelvis further away from each other. And we want to stay reasonably lifted out of the shoulders. We're going to point the feet. The legs are an inch or so apart. And we're going to shiver the legs. Each leg shivering independently, really fast, really small moves, vigorously. And then rest. We're going to do that 2 more times. Take a breath or 2. Make sure your body is set up like a cradle. And let's do it again. Shiver. And relax. So the work happens in the upper legs and in the core. The lower legs and the feet are essentially relaxed. They're soft and relaxed, so you don't have to make the feet rigid. Last time. Good. And rest. Very nice. So we're going to need our block and our ball alongside us. Lie down on your back. Put the block or the ball between the knees. I'm using the block and I'm going to do the skinny way. And we'll get ready for our bridge. So arms alongside the body. Again, think of elevating the spine along the mat. We inhale first. We exhale a little tuck of the pelvis, and then we push our feet into the floor and float the hips up toward the ceiling. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly come down. Inhale at the bottom. And let's do that again. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, float the hips up. Pause, inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly lower, 1 vertebra at a time. As you inhale, take the arms up. We're going to do 2 more without the arms on the floor. Exhale, tuck. Exhale, the pubic bone leads the way up. And at the top, we inhale. Our body should feel like it's in a long, straight line from knees to the upper spine. Exhale, lower. Inhale at the bottom. We'll do 1 more. Inhale at the top and exhale, slowly lower. And inhale at the bottom. Let's take the block out for a second and bring the legs to tabletop position, 1 leg at a time. In fact, let's do it this way. Lift up 1 leg, lift your hips up a little bit, and try to lengthen your spine along the mat, especially the lumbar spine. But try to keep that lumbar spine down on the mat. Then we'll bring the other leg up, and the block goes between the knees or the ball, and the arms go directly out to the side in an airplane position, palms up. We inhale and take our twist to the right. We're pivoting the hips. The other shoulder stays down. Exhale, come back to center. We inhale, go the other way, getting that nice deep twist in the spine. And exhale to center. You feel like you're getting most of the twist in the lower spine. But in reality, the spine is twisting almost all the way up to the upper part of the thoracic. Inhale out. Exhale, come back in. Let's do 1 more each side. Last one to the left. Great, now give that block a little squeeze, really firm up the abdominals, and just lower your feet to the floor carefully. And bring the hands behind the head. Lift up the head a little bit and make your spine longer along the mat, however you want to do it. And we're ready for our chest lift. Inhale first, exhale, lift up the head and the chest and keep the spine really long. Pause, inhale at the top. And exhale, slowly lower. Inhale at the bottom and exhale up. Pause, inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. And inhale. Let's do that 3 more times. Today, I want you to think about the length of the spine. Think about lengthening instead of lifting really high. Don't worry about lifting really high. We want to get more space between the vertebrae. And lower, and now we're going to be adding on. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift. Pause at the top, inhale. Exhale, twist the rib cage to the right. It doesn't have to be too deep. And inhale back to center. Just stay lifted, twist to the left, and keep the spine really long. And back to the center. And relaxing the neck, relaxing the arms and the hands. And exhale, twist to the left. And back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. And back to center. And twist to the left, back to center. We're going to do one more each side. Hang in there. And last one. Inhale back to center. And exhale, slowly lower. Okay, set the block aside. Come to your home position. Arms alongside the body, knees bent, feet on the floor. And we're going to do our marching. This might seem really easy compared to the others we just did, but I want you to really focus on keeping that lower spine perfectly still and the pelvis and the hips perfectly still. Lift up the right leg and keep the knee bent and bring it in as close as you want to your chest, but as soon as your tail starts to roll up, that means you've gone a little too far. And then lower the foot. And then we'll lift up the left. The other one, and lower. Now your focus here is to just hold that pelvis really still and the lower spine really still. If I looked at your torso, I would not even know you were moving your legs. Left one is the last one to come up, and we'll lower. And now we're going to lift up the right leg again, and we're going to march. So you really have to firm up the abdominals and switch the legs, and switch the legs, and toe taps the floor. You're marching it out, and breathe while you're doing it. Any way you want to breathe is fine, as long as it makes sense to you. Let's finish it up. Let's bring the right foot down first, and then we'll bring the left foot down. All right, set your body up for another bridge. We're already there. Inhale, exhale, tuck the pelvis and lengthen the spine as you come up. We'll stay lifted. Get those shoulder blades down a little bit. The sides of your neck should feel very long. And we'll exhale, lift up the right leg again. Right knee stays bent. Inhale, lower the foot. And left leg up. Exhale. And inhale down. And right leg up. And lower. And left leg up. And lower. We keep going. We have the same stillness in the pelvis and the low back as we did when we were on the floor. When one leg comes up, the other leg has to work harder. And we'll do one more each side. The left leg is the last one to come up. And lower. Before we come down, we'll check ourselves. Make sure the hip creases are lifted, the pubic bone is lifted. Some of you might feel a stretch along the front of the thighs. One last inhale. Exhale, lengthen out the spine as you lower, one vertebra at a time. Extend your left leg long along the floor, grab your right knee and pull it deep into your chest. Take a little bit of a stretch. 2 breaths here. Release, left leg in, right leg out long and straight. Pull that left knee really deep into the chest. And release. Bend both knees, both feet on the floor, hands behind the head. We're going to lift our head and our chest up into a chest lift position, and we'll start a single leg stretch. So the legs come up to tabletop one at a time. The right knee comes in a little closer. Both feet are pointed. We'll straighten that left leg all the way, and then lift the sternum up a little higher. Okay, and switch the legs, and exhale, and reach, and kick, smooth it out, and breathe. Now we're going to keep those legs going and go right into our crisscross. We twist and we twist. We're twisting toward the incoming bent knee. We exhale into the twist. Now watch that upper spine. It wants to start dropping toward the floor. Stay lifted. Feel the power coming from your center. Let's all stop, twisted to the front of the, toward your screen, to your right. We're going to bring our torso back to the middle, left leg up higher, right leg out long along the mat, lift the chest a little higher, pulse the left leg twice and switch legs, and exhale, and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse, keeping the legs as straight as possible. Almost there. Last set. Right leg up last and come down. Take a short break, bend both knees. We're going to do the exercise I call double leg with rotation. So we'll leave our hands behind the head and lift up to a chest lift position. We'll bring the legs to tabletop with the knees and feet squeezed together. Knees come in closer to the sternum. Sternum lifts a little higher. Keep squeezing the knees together. Inhale, legs out 45 degrees. Exhale, knees come back in. Upper body stays lifted. And we're going to add rotation, legs out straight, and then exhale, twist the rib cage to the right as the knees come in. Inhale, straighten out the legs. Exhale, twist to the left as the knees come in. Inhale and twist. Inhale and twist. Inhale and twist. Inhale and twist. And one more time each side. Inhale, legs out, bring the legs up. One foot to the floor, other foot to the floor, head to the floor. Full body stretch if you like. Legs out long and straight, arms overhead. That felt good. Okay, we are going to grab our block and let's put the block under the right foot. The block is the flat way. I'm going to lift my left leg out of the way so you can see. This is essentially where our right foot is. So you adjust that. We're going to be going into a bridge. You adjust that until it feels just right. Now the feet are still lined up with each other. One foot is not further out in front of the other foot. The right foot is up higher. Obviously, if you look at your knees, the right knee is higher. Let's leave the arms on the floor. We'll inhale here. We exhale and tuck our pelvis and float the hips up to the bridge. We'll inhale at the top and exhale, come down. And as you inhale at the bottom, the spine comes to neutral. Let's do that again. Now, when you lift up, the left hip bone is just as high as the right hip bone. There's a really nice stretch happening along the left side here because those hip creases are lifting up toward the ceiling. And we'll come down. We'll inhale at the bottom. We'll do that again. Think about getting that left hip crease up really high. And we'll exhale, come down. Inhale at the bottom. Let's add on to that. Exhale up. We are going to stay lifted. We're going to take our left leg and take it straight up to the ceiling. Now you're trying to touch your ceiling. Foot is pointed. Let's leave the leg up, take our inhale, and exhale, lower the spine one vertebra at a time. Take the inhale at the bottom, and with the power of the right leg, we exhale, tuck, and reach for the ceiling again, lifting into our bridge. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower. Inhale at the bottom, allow the spine to flatten out, but try not to move the leg away. One more time, exhale up. Slow inhale, don't be in a hurry. And exhale, lower. And then you can bring the leg down. Great, let's do the other side. Block moves over to the left or the other side. Take your time setting up. You can look around, check your feet if you want to. Both feet will stay down. Left foot is on the block. We inhale first. Exhale, the tuck of the pelvis happens first, and then we push both feet into the floor and float the pubic bone up to the ceiling. We try to do this without arching our back. Inhale at the top, and exhale, slowly lower. Inhale at the bottom, neutral spine. Exhale, rock the pelvis, push up toward the ceiling. Inhale the top, little stretch going on in front of the right leg and right hip. Exhale down. Inhale, neutral spine again. Inhale at the top. Exhale, come down. Inhale at the bottom. We will add on to that. Exhale, tuck, lift up. Right leg up to the ceiling. Long, straight leg. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the spine, one vertebra at a time. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, tuck and lift up. Now it's going to be a little harder to find the slinky spine because that leg is lifted up. You will probably not get as much range of slinky motion in your spine, and that is okay. Do the best you can. Again, exhale, tuck. Pause, inhale, and exhale. Try to come down one vertebra at a time. Great, and then bring that right foot down. Let's move the block out of the way. And I think we're going to grab our ball now. If you have the ball, use the ball. If you don't have a ball, use a block. We're going to do our pendulum. We're going to do it a little bit differently. So the ball or the block go between your ankles. Go ahead, grab your legs, take your legs up, try to have them really straight, and try to get them vertical if you can. Not everybody can. Right, hold the legs up there, arms out to the side in an airplane position, palms up, and squeeze the ball or the block, and as you inhale, pivot the hips to the right. So that left side of the pelvis lifts up. And then exhale, come back to center. Now we're going to leave the legs in the center. We're going to inhale, lower the legs, not quite halfway to the floor. And we'll exhale back up. And we'll inhale, pivot the hips now to the left. Keep the opposite shoulder down. And exhale up. And stopping in the middle, we'll inhale, lower the legs almost halfway to the floor. And exhale up. And inhale, pivot to the right. And exhale back to center. And inhale, legs move away from you toward the floor. And exhale up. And now inhale, legs move to the left. And exhale back to the middle. And inhale, lower the legs down the middle. And exhale back up. You can stop and take a break here or do one more set with me. Inhale, legs to the right. Exhale to center. Inhale, legs stay in your midline. Exhale back up. Inhale, legs to the left. Exhale back to center. And one last time, inhale, legs down the midline. And exhale back up. And then bend your knees, remove the ball, pull your knees into your chest. Rock your body around a little bit. Okay, so we're going to lie in our home position, put the ball between the knees. This exercise will be kind of similar to the chest lift with rotation that we normally do early in the class, but we're going to be in a freeze frame. We're going to stop and hold. So put your right hand behind your head and take your left arm up to the ceiling with the palm facing either inward or away, whatever makes your shoulder happier. We're going to lift up to a chest lift. So the straight arm is reaching slightly forward, and staying lifted, we're going to take our twist. We're going to keep that left arm reaching up toward the ceiling. Okay, now keep the knees and the legs really still. And as you exhale, lift an inch higher. As you inhale, lower an inch. Staying in the twist, we lift higher and slightly lower. Stay in the twist. Think about doing a side bend upward when you lift up and come out of the side bend when you lower. Very small move. And lower. Take your time. One more time. And lower. And then we'll untwist and lower the head and the chest to the floor. Very nice. Hope everybody understood that. Let's do the other side. So you're probably going to be turned away from your screen, so I will talk you through everything. Left hand behind the head, right arm is up. As we lift into our chest lift, the right arm comes forward a little bit. Now you're lifted almost as high as you can. Stay lifted and twist the rib cage to your left. You're looking to your left. And now use the muscles along the right side of your torso to lift you a little higher. And then lower a little bit. And exhale, lift about an inch. And inhale, lower a little bit. No movement in the legs, so feel free to squeeze the ball. And lower. And again, the belly is drawn in, reach up. And lower. And one more time, exhale, reach higher. Inhale, lower a little bit. Then we'll come out of our twist, lower the head and the chest to the floor. Very nice. Go ahead and remove your ball. Let's take a full body stretch real quickly. Good. Hope everybody is doing okay. We're going to take our ball again and put it between the ankles. And as we move around this time, there's going to be no pivoting of the pelvis. The pelvis is going to stay flat on the mat. I want you to think of your femur bones and the hip joints, which is the little pot that the stirring stick is in. Arms can go out to the side, and we're just going to glide both our legs to the right. Now your right leg should be gliding further away than your left leg, and come back to the middle. I'm going to point my feet. Glide to the left. This is not a big move. And back to the middle. There's no rocking of the pelvis. And as you glide to the right, think of the left leg moving deeper into the hip joint. As you glide to the left, think of the right leg moving deeper into the hip joint. And to the right, and to the left. Keep the low back imprinted on the mat. We'll finish off to the left. Come back to the middle, and we'll remove the ball. If anybody didn't understand that one, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to explain it to you. Let's do another bridge. So I want you to this time bring your heels in closer to your butt than you usually do. That means your knees are bent a little bit more. See how close my feet are to my body. We're going to inhale and exhale, tuck the pelvis and float the hips up. Now we want to get that the hip creases opened up here. So really take the arch out of the low back. See if you can get the pubic bone up higher. And then lift up to the tiptoes with both feet. And hold the heels as lifted as high as they'll go. and then lower the heels. Now flex the feet so the toe balls lift up and your heels are kind of digging into your mat. That probably caused your pubic bone to drop, so get that pubic bone back up. Good, and we'll point the feet and flex the feet and point and flex and point and flex and bring the feet down flat. Now with the left foot, we're going to point. With the right foot, we're going to flex and then switch and switch and just keep prancing it out and switch and switch. Watch out that pubic bone doesn't drop. Keep it lifted and breathe. I want the lower legs and the feet working really hard here. I want you to feel this after class. Keep going. A few more to go. Almost there. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Not yet, though. Getting close. Getting close. One more each side. And rest. Flat feet. Get the pubic bone up higher. One more inhale. Exhale, lower one vertebra at a time. Very nice. One leg at a time up to the ceiling. Grab the back of the legs. I want you to flex your feet and stretch out the calves. Just hold with the feet flexed. And then point the feet as much as they'll go. And then circle each foot in opposite directions. And then switch the direction. Good, and knees to chest. Lift up the head if you want. Okay, let's do our side lift. Roll over onto your side so you're facing your screen. Let's just align the whole body along the mat, the lower arm along the floor, palm up. And I like to put a towel under my head, but you can just put your head on your arm if you like. The other hand on the floor. Legs shift slightly out to the front. Find your center. Not only pull your belly in, but make your waistline narrower. See if you can get your body flesh, your waistline flesh just off the mat, and lengthen out your lumbar spine. Now you're ready to lift up the legs. Exhale. And inhale, lower and hover. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower and hover. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower and hover. And one more time. And lower and hover. We'll take away the kickstand arm, take the arm straight up to the ceiling. And again, we lift and lower and lift and lower. Maybe a little higher and lower and lift and lower. From here, we'll go into the side kick. So we're up on the elbow. The legs are going to be in the same place. We want to lengthen our spine into a straight line, head in line with the spine. We'll lift it out of the lower shoulder. Let's take our upper arm up, widen the chest, then bend the elbow, take the fingertips to the side of the head, lift up the upper leg until it's parallel to the floor and flex the foot. Lengthen out that upper leg. Swing the leg forward, pulse, pulse. Point the foot, swing the leg back, pulse, pulse, and forward and back. Two more times, then we're going to change it up. And one more time, forward and back. Bring the leg to the start position. And I want you to lift the leg up as high as it'll go. And then lower until it's parallel to the floor. And again. And lower. And one more time. And lower. We're going to put it all together. Flex the foot forward, pulse, pulse. Take the foot behind you, pulse, pulse. Start position and lift and lower and forward, pulse, pulse. Point the foot back, pulse, pulse. come to start position and lift and lower and forward and back and neutral and lift and lower and forward and back and start position and lift and lower, and one more time, forward and back and start position and lift and lower and rest. Other side. Side kick is first. I'm using my towel. You don't have to if you don't want to. All right, kickstand hand in place, shift the leg slightly forward. There's a little bend in your hip crease. Narrow the waistline. Exhale, float the legs up. Inhale, lower and hover. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And lift. And lower. One more time. And lower. Do away with the kickstand, arm up. Same thing, exhale up. Inhale and lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. One more time. And lower. Coming up for side kick, bend the elbow, up to the elbow. Legs in the same place. Lift it out of the shoulder. Straight spine, not saggy spine. Arm up, widen the chest. Fingertips alongside the head. Lift the upper leg till it's parallel to the floor and lengthen it. And flex that foot and swing it forward and pulse, pulse. Point the foot, swing it behind you, pulse, pulse. And forward, and back, and forward, and back, and one more time, and back, and come to the start position. Now, without changing your spine, without dropping the rib cage, lift the leg up as high as it'll go, and lower and hover, and lift, lower and hover. One more time, and lower. We'll take the foot forward, pulse, pulse. Point the foot, take it back, pulse, pulse. Come to start position and lift without pulsing. And lower and forward, pulse, pulse. And back, pulse, pulse. And start position. And lift. And lower. And forward. And back. And start position. And lift. And lower, and forward, and back, and start position, and lift, and lower, and I think we have one more time. And rest, very nice. Hope you kept up. Rest pose. If you can't bend your knees like this, just have your hip joints right above your knees and just hang out right here. 2 more breaths. Good. Come out of your rest pose, lie down on your belly. I'm going to tilt my screen a little bit so you can see just a little better. Okay. We're going to do our basic back extension the way we've always done it, and then we'll do it the newer way. So legs together, feet pointed, arms reaching down the side of your legs, fingertips trying to touch the ankles, arms squeeze into the body. The head is floating off the mat, and the front of the shoulders floating off the mat. Now pull the belly in and solidify the abdominals. And as you inhale, lift up the head, chest, and shoulders. And as you exhale, lower and hover. And inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and hover. And one more time. And lower and hover. Now separate the arms from the body. We're just going to, again, try to reach the ankles with the fingertips. And as we inhale, lift, we kind of lift up the arms too and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And we exhale, lower and hover. And we inhale, lift. And we exhale, lower and hover. And we inhale, lift. And we exhale, lower. Let your arms rest on the mat for a minute. Take the legs slightly apart. Get the arms back in place. And now we're going to lift the legs as we lift up. We inhale, very similar to locust, and exhale. And two more times. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Stack your hands under your forehead. Take a little rest. So in a second, we're going to be doing a version of the side kick. And the side kick is the one where we're bending one knee and pulsing. So for now, let's keep the head stacked on the hands, resting on the hands. And we're going to lengthen out our body. We should be in just a little bit of a back bend here. See if you can keep both legs straight and lift both legs off the mat, and just hold for about 2 breaths. And lower the legs. Now we're going to leave the left leg down, but lift up the right leg. And then we're going to bend the right knee as much as possible. Try to keep the right knee off the mat and point the foot, and then straighten the leg. And again, bend the right knee. Keep the right knee lifted off the mat if possible, and straighten the leg. And one more time. And straighten the leg, and lower the right leg. Let your body recover and reorganize here. We'll leave the right leg down, lift up the left leg. We'll bend the left knee as much as possible, keeping the left leg lifted, and straighten the left leg. And again, bend and straighten. And one more time, bend and straighten, and lower that left leg. You probably did better with one side than the other. Okay. Now we're going to firm up the abdominals, firm up the whole body, lift both legs. We're going to bend the right knee, pulse 3 times, and then switch the legs. Pulse, 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 pulse. Pulse, 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 da, 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 da. Left leg is the last one. Straighten it out. Lift both legs higher and come down and rest. When you're ready, come up to all fours. We're going to arch our back, lift up the tail feathers, glide the heart forward and up. And then we'll round the back a little bit. A little exhale here. And inhale, arch the back fully. And now exhale, round the back a little more. And we'll inhale, arch the back. And by now, your back muscles should have released a little bit. We'll round that back as much as you want to, dropping the head and tucking the pelvis. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Good. We haven't done a plank position in a while. We haven't done a front support. So let's do that. I suggest crawling toward the front of your mat, coming to an all fours position, and have a neutral spine here. We're going to extend the left leg. to get set up for our plank. Now notice where your hips are right here. They didn't really lift or lower. Ideally, you should have a straight line through the spine, through the left leg. Now let's not let any of that change as we bring the other leg up. There, a little tuck in the pelvis, shoulder blades are wide, and we're breathing. Lightly touch the left knee to the mat and bring the left leg back up. Lightly touch the right knee to the mat, bring the leg back up. And left knee, and return it. And right knee, and return it. And left knee, and return it. Right knee, and return. One more time each side. Last one. And return it. Hold here. The last breath, we're going to try to perfect our plank pose. And then one knee down, other knee down. Rest pose. And 3 more breaths. Good, come on up. Come up to an upright kneeling position if your knees are okay with this. Okay. So we're going to do a little thigh stretch here. I want you to put your hands on your hips, and I want you to feel your pelvis tuck forward. I want you to feel the pubic bone move forward and the upper part of the hip bones move backwards. Now take the arms in front of you and keep that pubic bone thrust forward as you tilt backwards, bending the knees a little more. And then come back up to upright. We want to keep the arch out of the low back. We inhale back and exhale upright. And inhale back and exhale upright. Some of you can go farther back than I can. One more time. And upright. Very nice. Now, stay in the upright kneeling position. Bring your right foot forward, and we'll take a little lunge. We'll stretch it out. You can put the hands on the knees. You can put the fingertips on the floor if you want. And if you want, you can even take a high lunge, lifting that back knee off the mat. Wherever you want to be is fine. Hold and breathe. Just relax the front of the left hip. And 2 more breaths. And let's come out of it. Come back up to that kneeling position, and we'll switch sides. Again, whatever position you want to be in, whatever works for you today. Low lunge or high lunge. Two more breaths. And come down. We have a few more minutes. Do you have a yoga strap? Grab your strap, lie down on your back. I like to put a towel under my head so my head is in line with my spine. You do the same if you like. Strap goes around the right foot. Both legs out straight. Before you come into your hamstring stretch, think about the neutral spine, think about the left leg pressing into the floor, and then just see how far you can pull on the leg today. Don't overdo it, don't grit your teeth, relax the facial muscles, and breathe. Now you can hold here in the static stretch, or you could take a dynamic stretch in which you bend the knee just a little bit so you can pull the leg in closer, and then straighten the leg again. It'll move away. And bend, and straighten, and bend, and straighten, or just hold the leg still. One more time. Then we'll hold in our static stretch for about 3 more breaths. Good. Stay in your hamstring stretch. Bend your left knee a bit so that you can put your left foot flat on the mat. Now take that strap in your left hand and keep in your hamstring stretch. Just take the other arm away, the right arm away, relax it and move the leg across midline. Don't move your left knee, just leave your left knee right where it is. And we'll hold here, stretching out the outside of the right hip. And 2 more breaths. And leg back to the center. Take the foot out of the strap. We'll switch legs, left foot into the strap. Right leg long and straight. Go into your stretch. Try to keep the backs of the shoulders on the mat. I like to bend my elbows as I'm doing this. I don't like to reach up toward the foot because then the shoulders roll off the mat and that'll only get you bad posture. So nice flat back, gentle stretch, and dynamic stretch if you want to. Or a static stretch. One more time. Straighten the leg. We'll hold in a static stretch for about 3 more breaths. Now bend the right knee a little bit, right foot flat on the floor. Take the strap in the right hand. Relax your left arm anywhere. Move the left leg to the right, just across your midline without changing anything else in the body. But keep pulling on the leg. You want to stretch the hamstring too, hamstrings too, and the side of the leg. And 2 more breaths. And leg back to center. Go ahead and remove the strap. Pull your knees into your chest. Rock around a little if you want. And then roll over onto your side toward your screen. Push yourself up to sitting. Okay. If your hamstrings are nice and flexible, go ahead and straighten your legs. Otherwise, leave the knees bent a little bit. We'll sit up tall and straight, finding our plumb line. We'll inhale and circle the arms out and up. And on the exhale, we'll just dive into the pool. Reach for your toes, drop your head, draw the belly in, and you can hold on to your toes or you can rest your hands on your shins. Take 2 breaths. Next inhale, stack the spine. Start at the bottom. Finish at the top. Head comes up last. If you don't feel self-conscious at home by yourselves, bring your arms forward. Give yourselves a big hand.